Welcome back to Good Day State Line. We love any way to relieve stress and stay active, and that's true for Wesley Willow residents too. Kennan is here to talk about all of that this morning, and you are new to the Wesley Willows family.
Yes, I started there on February 1st.
Cool.
So just about 3 months there.
And that's really exciting because, we have so much fun with Wesley Willows throughout the entire year, and we know that for a while, a lot of the residents were stuck in their rooms, stuck in their apartments or at their homes, and now they're allowed to get out and do stuff, and fitness is so important.
Right.
And so they're really going to be able to, do some classes with you, which is pretty cool.
Right, yeah, before there was limited class options just because of capacity in certain rooms, or trying to keep people that live in the houses outside, separate from people from the suites inside.
Absolutely. So before we get started doing some of the poses here, tell us a little bit about yourself and your fitness background.
Well, I've worked as a personal trainer, group fitness instructor for about 10 years now. Like I said, new to Wesley Willows, but I've worked in the Chicago suburbs at various park districts and gyms.
And what's your favorite thing about working in fitness?
I enjoy seeing my clients and class participants grow and improve. So there's so many stories about participants that have done things like lost a ton of weight. They don't have to take certain medications anymore because they improve their health. They're doing new activities like running their first 5K or getting better at their golf game. Just any improvement I can hear about from my clients or participants is great.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit specifically about yoga. How did you get into that?
Well, I got into yoga because I compete in triathlons, long distance running, cycling, swimming, all that. And with a lot of those repetitive movements, there comes tightness and injuries just from repeating, running all the time or cycling all the time, or like freestyle stroke builds up problems in your shoulders. And I found that yoga is a great way to relieve all that pain and tightness.
Sure. And so yoga at Wesley Willows, we've talked with Wesley Willows many times about how I'm not old enough to participate there. I can't live there yet. So a lot of people who do live there, maybe they have some inflexibility or other problems just built up from their entire life of running or swimming or gardening.
Gardening, any activity they might have been doing before they were at Wesley Willows. If they had a job where they're at a computer all the time, they might have shoulders that are rounded forwards, or a lot of times with different health problems, arthritis, they have problems with their hands.
So what do you think is the #1 reason why seniors should try yoga?
It's a good way to work on strength, mobility, balance, flexibility that's low impact, doesn't require a lot of equipment. And just like any other fitness class, it's a good social activity to do with your friends.
Love that so much. Okay, so speaking of not requiring a lot of equipment, you're going to show me what we can do just sitting in this chair.
Right, yeah. At Wesley Willows, well, most of our classes start off in the chair, using the chair. So with yoga, you can do a lot of the poses seated in the chair. I brought this equipment here that we could also use for yoga. We have a yoga strap, which you can just use the aid of stretching. I actually brought over a TheraBand as well, because this is what I use at Wesley Willows for class. A lot of our residents are familiar with that from other fitness classes or from physical therapy.
And you use that if you want to reach your toes, but you can't reach your toes, right?
Exactly, yes. We also have yoga blocks here, look like giant little Pez. And they're great for if you can't reach all the way to the ground, you can reach down to the blocks, or if you're trying to do a leg stretch, you can put your heel up on the blocks. So we can use those for some of our poses as well.
All right, so show me one of the poses.
Okay, so one pose, you see this a lot in yoga, whether it's standing or seated, is forward fold. So you would sweep your arms out and up towards the ceiling, and then as you bring the arms back down, you fold forwards, bring your upper body forwards. If you're doing the standing, you'd be folding yourself in half like you're a piece of paper. But here in the chair, you can just reach your hands all the way to the floor. If you can't quite reach to the floor, you can bring your hands to your feet or your shins, or if you had your blocks, you can take your blocks if you want there. You can also set up the blocks and reach down to the blocks.
Cool.
And then you breathe back in, bring the arms back out and up towards the ceiling. And you can repeat that as many times as you want. You can just bring the arms back down to the side. And the other great thing about the blocks is that you can turn them, so if you are a little more flexible, you can reach a little bit further and further down, so eventually you're so flexible you don't need them again.
I love that. Just doing that one, I already feel a little bit better about my back.
Right, yeah, loosening the back, the shoulders. It's a good warm-up for yoga.
Absolutely. So Kennen, of course, is doing fitness classes at Wesley Willows. We love hanging out with everybody at Wesley Willows, and I think we're going to have them on again in a few weeks. So wesleywillows.org for some more information. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Coming up next on GDS, we are off to redesign your bathroom with Home Forever Baths. And later, Sweet Lenny from 97 ZOK is joining me for our annual Oscar bet. Speaking of the Oscars, we asked you at mystateline.com/GDS, what movie do you think will win Best Picture this year? Looks like you think A Trial of the Chicago 7 will win. We'll see tonight during the Oscars. This week, we're switching gears to TV, actually TV hair. What's your favorite Jennifer Aniston hairstyle from Friends? Is it the Rachel, long and straight, or the bob? Vote now at mystateline.com/GDS. You're probably wondering why we're asking you this. It's because next week we are actually talking to her hair colorist. We'll be back in just a second. Here are the incredible women who are nominated for an Oscar in the Best Actress category.